pro boxing fans here with big truck heavyweight David Price. We're down at the Rotunda Gym in Liverpool ahead of your clash with Dave Allen on next Saturday night, July 20. Looking at the odds, Dave Allen is made the favourite. In your mind, who's the A side and who's the B side going in?
Dave Allen's the A side, isn't he? Because he's the home fighter and he's the one with the momentum, and that's fine with me. You know, it doesn't mean that I believe he's a better fighter than me, but I just think in current circumstances, Dave Allen's the darling type of thing on social media and with the fans, and he's coming off a big win against Lucas Brown, so it's all on him to to produce the goods really. So it's good for me that Dave Allen's the favourite.
What do you make of Dave Allen's rise from sort of a durable opponent to now this sort of respected contender? Is he someone that's been on your radar throughout your career, or someone that's sort of recently now come into contention?
It was mentioned that we were going to fight a couple of years ago, to be honest. In I think it was 2016. The fight was going to be made in the Echo Arena, but it got thrown together at short notice, and it didn't happen for whatever reason. But I think it was better that it didn't happen then, and it's happening now. When we're at a time where there's more at stake and it's more worthy of the fight happening, because it's a big domestic fight. And yeah, I think he's done well. He's had a couple of notable wins, his last one being his biggest one. So yeah, he's got himself in a good position.
You mentioned that he's got some notable wins. He's also got momentum, and from momentum it breeds confidence. How important is it? I mean, a confident fighter going into the ring is presumably a dangerous fighter. How important is that confidence? How important will that confidence be come fight night?
Confidence is massive in boxing. You know, there's momentum and there's confidence. I mean, you can even you can lose a fight and still have confidence in your ability, but obviously the momentum isn't there because you've lost, and you've got to get that back. And he's got both, I suppose. And I've won my last couple of fights, you know, and confidence in my ability, confident that I'm the better fighter is there. You know, that's there no matter what. That's cemented. But on the night, you know, we could argue that he's more confident because of his last win or whatever. But I believe that I'm confident enough to go in and win this fight, and I believe I'm the better fighter.
A word on his last opponent, an early stoppage of Lucas Brown. Until the stoppage came, it was actually quite a competitive fight. Brown was landing. Did you see the fight, and were you surprised by the result? What did you make of it?
I was surprised by the finish. I didn't expect a conclusive finish like that. But I weren't surprised Lucas Brown was landing, because anyone who fights Dave Allen lands shots. He's there to be hit. But it was kind of like fight what kept changing my mind. Only we thought would win, and my initial thoughts were that I would have preferred Lucas Brown to win because it was down to fight the winner. As it stood, Dave Allen won, and deservedly so. But yeah, it was a good win, nice win for him.
So I want to get your reaction to something that Dave Allen said. Obviously, in the build-up to the fight, a fighter wants to hype it to build as much publicity as possible. But he said that you're there for the beating. What's your reaction to that?
Bring it on.
Maybe implying that this is the right stage of both of your careers, that it's given him the best opportunity to win.
Well, I think it's the opposite though. I think Dave Allen would have a better chance of beating me when I was 19 stone 10 or whatever it was when I was going to fight him, and I weren't doing any conditioning training. I was just training up in the Dave Colwell's gym, but I didn't have a conditioning training. I was just training once a day. I think that might have been I think that will have been his best chance. Now I've got everything spot on, you know, and I think he's been in a couple of hard fights himself since then. I think he's there for the taking.
You called this a world title shot, or compared it to a world title shot in terms of your motivation. Why are you placing such importance on this fight with Dave Allen?
I think in boxing, every time, your next fight's always your biggest fight, because you've got to win to keep progressing, and that's no different. But I just think the way the heavyweight landscape's lying at the minute, the way it's changing, I think bigger and better opportunities are around the corner for the winner, and bigger and better of now is bigger and better than the bigger and better of 2 years ago, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? There's bigger opportunities, there's more there's more things going on over in America. A lot of heavyweights about. Essentially, there's more money to be made.
Is there anything specific you're looking at without overlooking, Dave Allen? You mentioned there's bigger prizes out there. Is there any specific fight you're looking for?
There isn't at all. I literally am looking at this fight and viewing it as everything. That's it, and then get the win, and then we can talk about what's next. Been guilty of doing that in the past, and I won't be doing that again.
Quick word on Cash Ali. Obviously, the bite's been well publicised now. How do you reflect on what happened? Now we're sort of now the dust has settled.
Yeah, just it seems like a long time ago now, to be honest. Just someone losing the rag on the night, I suppose, and looking for a way out. But like I said to him when he apologised to me, I did say to him, although it might feel like the world's against you, this time next week or the week after, something else will happen that everyone will be talking about, and it'll soon be forgotten about, and it more or less has now anyway. So that's life, isn't it? People move on, and I've certainly moved on from it, that's for sure.
Something else that did happen was Anthony Joshua's surprising loss to Andy Ruiz out in New York. Do you think he's right to jump straight back in, or do you think he could have benefited from an interim fight?
I think the risk-reward ratio for Anthony Joshua in an interim fight wouldn't stack up. So I think he's right to jump straight back in, because although it is a big risk, the reward is just to get all the belts back. Whereas he could have got in an interim fight that there's always the risk of losing, always. Probably wouldn't have, but you know, I think going straight back in for all the marbles is what he needs to do.
Quick couple of predictions. Firstly, Gorman Dubois. Who have you got and why?
I'm going to say Gorman on points. I just think he'd be a little bit more polished and a little bit more of a boxing brain, and he can win on points.
And Dillian White and Oscar Rivas. Same question.
Exact same answer. I think Dillian more experienced. I think he went on points, Dillian.
Finally, David, just a word on combating drugs in sport. You've been on the receiving end. You've been there against opponents who have turned out to be dopers. If you were in charge, how would you deal with the situation? What kind of bans will you slap on fighters that have been found guilty of doping?
It depends on the circumstances. Like if they had a supplement that has a little bit of a banned stimulant in, then obviously you couldn't give them the same punishment as someone who's had an anabolic steroid that was going to increase the punch power and potentially hurt an opponent. So it depends, really. There's a lot of grey areas in drugs in boxing, and jurisdictions who's in charge of what, and it's too murky a world to even try and contemplate. But in an ideal world, if it was just me in charge of all the boxers and they all had to answer to me, I'd say if you get caught once, then that's it. You have to go and find a different sport.
And finally, David, prediction, Dave Allen, next Saturday night, O2 Arena. What's going to happen? Why should we tune in?
I'm going to knock them out early. That's why you should tune in.
David Price, thank you for speaking to Pro Boxing Fans.